Let us look at these two pictures. It's not that obvious. Okay, can you see the difference between these two pictures?
Yes.
Yeah, one appears to be colorful while the other one is gray. So it's because our human eyes can see because our human eyes can see the difference between the color and the gray one. That's because our eyes can function like a digital camera, which capture not only color but also object images. But unfortunately, not all human beings enjoy this kind of favor. Some people see everything in grayscale because they are completely colorblind. Although we may think that color may not be that important in our daily lives, but it's actually, we cannot live without it. For example, when we go to the grocery store and try to pick up some tomatoes, we want to distinguish the red tomatoes from the unripe green ones so that we don't pick the wrong ones. And another example would be that if we try to go across the intersection, then we need to recognize the light, the color of the traffic lights. So thankfully, there has been a new technology being invented which sheds a new light towards this problem. So today I want to introduce you to the story of Neil Harbisson. Neil was born to be totally colorblind. He never perceives color in his life. However, in the age of 21, his life has changed. Not because he went into surgery and finally fixed his eyes or something, it's actually that he could sense the color in a different way. So in 2003, he worked on a project with a computer scientist named Adam Muttendam, and they collaborated to devise a cybernetic eye. And this is the eye that he's actually wearing. This eye is called iBorg, and it's actually a color sensor which contains a wearable computer as well as a pair of headphones. So the main function of this device is actually it can detect the color in front of this sensor and then send back the frequency to the chip behind and then transform color frequency to sound frequency so that you can hear the sounds of color. So for example, like Neil Harbisson is showing here, if you place an orange in front of this sensor, then you can actually hear the color of orange. So in his TED Talk in 2012, he said having this iBorg is quite amazing because it changed his life a lot. He no longer needed to remember color names, and he started to have perceptions of color, and he started to have feelings of color as well. And it's much more amazing because he could now dream in color, and he feels like the color sensor has united with his brain. Because when he is sleeping, it's actually his brain creating the electronic sounds in his dream, not the color sensor. So it's really amazing to see this happening. The advantage of having this color sensor is profound. According to Neil, he now can actually dress differently and eat differently. Like, for example, he used to dress on what looked nice, but now he dresses based on the sounds of color. And also when he enjoys his dinner plate, he would enjoy it differently based on the musical order. Like he may have a salad of Jason Mraz music or any kind of music that that he likes. So he can pick the vegetables, green vegetables or red meat in a musical order. And when he wants to buy all the food ingredients in the supermarket, shopping becomes more than a dual necessity. Because all the sounds keep catch him by surprise everywhere as he walks. So it's really amazing because he would feel like he's actually in a nightclub instead of in a grocery store or a supermarket. But I think the most important thing for him is that he could finally pursue a career as an artist. Because thanks to this technology, he could actually sense the color and appreciate the color of art. Like if he walks into an art gallery, He can actually listen to Picasso's painting and perceives beauty by listening to the sounds. Not only that, because there's no exact boundary between colors and sounds and so on and so forth, so he could actually transform what he hears to corresponding sounds in his art creation. Like any kinds of voices or speeches, he could actually trace down all these sounds in his art creation, like the following this one. This is Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, I Have a Dream, and he listens to the speech and then draws down what he hears. And another one, Mozart's Queen of the Night. So, above all these, in 2010, he actually founded a nonprofit organization named the Cyborg Foundation, which aims at expanding our senses. He thinks that extending sensors means expanding knowledge. He even suggests that instead of creating mobile apps, we should all create applications for our own body. So, all in all, you may think that this has nothing to do with us because we see things as it already is. We don't need to transform color into sounds so that we can learn color. But Neil's story actually is much more than a successful life story. Because if you think that our color vision is good enough, then maybe you should think again. Our color vision can be expanded due to this technology, and then we can, for example, if we can detect the ultraviolet through this detector, so that we can know whether we should wear sunscreen or how good or bad the weather is before we going out. So extending senses actually means extending knowledge, and we can actually have this big idea to create our imagination and put us to a higher limit. So who says an artist cannot be who says a colorblind person cannot be an artist? I think we should all expand our senses and appreciate all the color and sounds around us because these are really precious gifts from nature. Thank you.